Hello everyone. In the last video, we saw the introduction of this book, Labor and Industrial Laws, and we also saw what we will cover in this course. So in this video, let us begin with the first chapter, that is Industrial Relation Code 2020. So in the introduction video, we saw that previous 29 labor acts has been merged into 4 new labor codes. So in this video, we will mainly cover these 4 new labor codes in details one by one, and also the comparison of the previous between the previous 29 laws as well as the new labor codes. So let us begin with Industrial Relation Code and see what this chapter contains. So in chapter 1 we will mainly find about the chapter 1 is preliminary. Here we will mainly see the definitions. Chapter 2 is bipartite forum. It covers mainly the dispute resolution mechanism. Chapter 3 provides about trade unions, on how trade union registration is going to occur, who will be the appropriate authority for the registration of trade unions. Similarly, chapter 4 is standing orders, 5 is notice of change. Also in this new industrial relation code, we see a new provision, that is worker reskilling fund, which we will see in details in this when we will discuss this chapter. So let us see the introduction to 4 new labor codes. Introduction to Okay, let us begin with introduction to the 4 new labor codes. So it says that the second labor commission led by Ravindra Verma submitted its report in 2022, which recommended that many laws, earlier there were many laws, which needs to be amalgamated or codified into 4 or 5 labor codes. Okay, the report was submitted in the year 2002, but it was only in 2019 the central government took steps, and the first code to be codified was the first one was wage code which was codified in the year 2019, and certain previous wages acts has been merged in this wage code. Then in 2020 it amalgamated 9 laws in social security code, 13 laws in occupational safety health and working condition code, and 3 laws in industrial relations code. So in total 29 laws has been merged into 4 new labor codes. So let us see first chapter. Here in next paragraph it mainly gives a gist or provides a brief on what is new relation code 2020 is all about. So let us just see the summary. It aims to safeguard the interests of the workers and employees. It provides for speedy redressal of grievance and resolution of disputes. So if there is any dispute, as we know in the industry there is the employer and there is the employee. So if there is any dispute between the employer and employee, this Industrial Relation Code 2020 provides for certain mechanisms such as Works Committee or industrial tribunals that is going to solve, or what will be the process on solving the dispute between the employer and the employee. It also provides for the registration of trade unions and what will be the strength of trade unions and how trade unions is going to resolve the dispute. Similarly, under the second code, that is Code on Wages 29, it simplified the provision of minimum wages and ensured that guarantee of minimum wages is available to 50 crore workers of organized and unorganized sector. As you can see, unorganized sector. Earlier there were multiple laws, but this unorganized sector were not covered. But in this new Code on Wages 2019, it tries to cover both the organized as well as the unorganized sector. Similarly, it introduced a new concept. In Code Wages 2019, a new concept of floor wage has been introduced. Why this floor wage is necessary? Floor wage is necessary that central government fixes a certain amount, that is certain limit, that is it fixed a limit of that is 300, that is for example rupees 500 per day must be paid to certain type of worker. So the state government or any industry cannot pay below this rupees 500, as the concept of floor wages will be fixed by the central government. Similarly, in the next code, that is Social Security Code 2020, it ensures right of worker for insurance, pension, gratuity, maternity benefits, etc. The certain social securities will be provided to the workers, which is given in Social Security Code 2020. The last code among the 4, that is Occupational Safety, Health and Working Conditions 2020. As you can see from the name, this code mainly deals with safety, health and working conditions, provides for better and safe environment along with occupational health and safety to workers at the workplace. So in the last paragraph, let us see what is said. It says labor falls under the concurrent list of the constitution. So as we know, there are three lists, that is state list, central list, and as well and concurrent list. In the state list, certain subjects are given in the constitution. In central, certain subjects are given in Constitution of India that are dealt by the center. But in concurrent list, certain that is dealt both by the center and the state. That is, laws can be made both by the center as well as the state. So it says that since labor, that is the labor. That is, since labor falls under the concurrent list of the constitution, both parliament and state legislature can make laws regulating labor. The codes are expected to be implemented. Yes, currently this 4 new labor code has not been implemented. The first code on wages is implemented, but the last is not implemented. The process is going on, so it will take some time as both central government as well as the state government here comes into force. So let us see mainly start with the first chapter, that is Industrial Relation Code 2020. So in this Industrial Relation Code 2023, three previous act has been merged or amalgamated under it, that is Industrial Dispute Act 1947, Industrial Employment Standing Order Act 1946 and Trade Union Act 1926. So let us see start with Industrial Relation Code 2020. So as we said, in any industry, there is the employer and then there is the employee. There may be dispute, and to solve this dispute, certain resolution mechanism, certain provisions has been provided in this code, Industrial Relation Code. Also, new provision code introduces a new fixed term concept of fixed term employment, which we will discuss in the upcoming video. Also, in another new concept, that is worker reskilling funds. What is worker reskilling fund? At the time of retrenchment, when a worker will be retrenched, they will be provided with 15 days wages of reskilling. So when an employer decides to retrench a worker, that is any worker, they will be provided with 15 days wages. 15 days wages. For him, this amount, 15 days wages amount will be used for the reskilling so that it will help the employee to find another job. We will see the complete details of this worker reskilling fund when we will discuss about this in the chapter. So let us see the next page, the comparison. It provides comparison of the existing laws. What changes has been made in the existing laws and what new provisions has been added in the Industrial Relations Code. So let us start with the definitions. What changes has been made in definitions? In the new Industrial Relation Code 2020, okay, new concept has been introduced. Okay, as we saw, a new concept of fixed term employment has been introduced in the new definition of the Industrial Relation Code. Also, another new changes has been made in definition, that is mass casual leave by 50% or more workers on a given day is considered a strike. So in any day, if 50% or more workers decided not to go to office or takes a casual leave, then on that day it will be termed as that the workers have gone on strike. So this new definition of a strike has been added. Let us see what changes in the definition of worker has been made. Under the previous act, that is Industrial Dispute Act 1948, it says that person employed in a supervisory capacity drawing wages of exceeding 10,000 10,000 rupees per month outside the ambit of workmen. So who were referred as the workmen? So any person employed in supervisory capacity drawing wages, that is they were drawing wages of salary more than 10,000, they were referred to as workmen. So in the new, what changes has been made in the new Industrial Relation Code? Now the term workmen has been renamed as worker. So earlier workmen were referred to as, those were workmen referred to as workmen. Now they will refer to as worker under the Industrial Relation Code 2020. This change has been made. Also change in the amount. Now 18,000 plus. Person employed in a supervisory capacity drawing wages of exceeding 18,000 rupees outside the ambit of, sorry, it was outside, not inside, sorry, it was a mistake. So any workman, earlier it was workman, now it is referred to as worker. Any workman employed in a supervisory capacity and drawing wages of 10,000 or more will not be referred to as workman. Okay, it was in Industrial Dispute Act. Now under the Industrial Relation Code 2020, any person employed in supervisory capacity and drawing salary of 18,000 plus will not be referred to as, will be outside the ambit of worker. They will not be referred to as worker. It was not inside, it was actually outside. Appointment. Let us see what changes has been made in the appointment process. Under the Trade Union Act 1926, the Registrar of Trade Union is appointed by the appropriate government. Registrar of Trade Union who is going to register the trade union, it was earlier appointed by the appropriate government. Appropriate government was either central government or the state government. But in this new Industrial Relation Code it says that the Registrar of Trade Union is appointed by the state government. Here the ambit of the central government has been removed under the new Industrial Relation Code 2020. Let us see changes in the Grievance Redressal Committee. In the earlier Industrial Dispute Act 1948, the total number of members of the Grievance Redressal Committee. So in the Industrial Dispute Act, there was Grievance Redressal Committee, and currently also there is Grievance Redressal Committee. But it said the total number of members shall not exceed more than 6. So there shall be maximum of 6 members and not more than that in the Grievance Redressal Committee. But in the new Industrial Relation Code, there shall not exceed 10. So maximum must be 10 in the new Industrial Relation Code. So question may be asked like this: the total number of members of the Grievance Redressal Committee under the new Industrial Relation Code is. So the answer will be not more than 10. Maximum will be 10. Minimum is not given here, but maximum will be 10. Board of Conciliation. In the previous Industrial Dispute Act 1948, there was Board of Conciliation appointed by the appropriate government. Board of Conciliation was mainly to promote the settlement of industrial dispute. But this Board of Conciliation provision has been removed under the new Labor Code. Similarly, there was Court of Inquiry for inquiring into any matter. It was under the Industrial Dispute Act, but this provision has been removed in the new Labor Code. Again, we see labor code. This was constituted by appropriate government for education of industrial dispute, but currently there is no such provisions in the new labor code. Tribunals. National Industrial Tribunal has been given in new Industrial Dispute Act 1948. It also is given in the new Industrial Relation Code 2020. So, what changes has been made? A national tribunal shall consist of one person only. In the earlier Industrial Dispute Act 1948, there was only one person in the national tribunal, but changes has been made. Currently, two. Every industrial tribunal shall consist of 2 members. Earlier there was 1 member, currently there was 2 members, but few other changes has been made. Out of 2, one shall be judicial member and the other shall be administrative member. Earlier there was only one, currently in the new Industrial Relation Code 2. So you will see this complete details on what are the functions of the judicial as well as administrative member in the upcoming video. National Tribunal. Let us see what changes has been made in National Tribunal. A national tribunal shall consist of one person only. Here it also says that consists of one person only. I think this and this is both the same. It consists of 2 members. Proceedings time limit. No time limit mentioned for completing the disciplinary proceedings against the worker. Earlier there was no time limit, which was actually a disadvantage but for the workers. But in the new code, time limit has been given 90 days for faster completion of the education process. Negotiating council. This is a new concept which was not present in the previous act. This negotiating union or negotiating council is provided. For example, let us say there is an union and certain requirements are needed to form a union, that is 50% or more must be a member, 50% or more employee must be a member of the union so that it is recognized. But in certain cases there may be less than 50%, so it will be difficult for a union to be recognized, and it will be difficult on how to negotiate between the unions and the employers. So this new negotiating union, negotiative council has been provided. So on what to do if the members is less than 50%, on how the unions will be recognized. We will see this complete details in when we will discuss about this chapter. Similarly, special provision for layoff, retrenchment or worker has been provided. In previous dispute act, it says that for establishment with 100 or more workers, in case of layoff, retrenchment or close, prior permission of appropriate government was required. In case the establishment with 100 or more workers, for let's say there is an establishment, it is employing 100 plus workers. So in case of retrenchment, in case they wish to lay off workers, they had to take permission from the appropriate government. So, but in current code, the requirement limit has been raised to 300. That is, earlier it was for establishment with 100 plus workers. It says that in establishment with 300 plus workers, if there is establishment under employing 300 plus workers and they decide to lay off or retrench certain workers, they have to take prior permission of the appropriate government. Earlier, it was for establishment with 300 plus workers, but in new code it is for establishment with 300 plus workers. Also, some changes in standing order has been made. This is the applicability of standing order. Earlier, the applicability of standing order was for establishment employing 100 or more workers. The threshold has now been raised to 300. Has now been raised to 300. Let us see changes in strikes and lockout. Prior notice condition was only applicable for public utility industry. In the previous Trade Union Act 1926, prior notice condition was only applicable. That is, prior notice was required only for establishment that is going for strikes or lockouts. Uh, Establishment which provided public utility services. But here in the new industry relation code, 14-day prior notice before strike mandated for all industrial establishment. It was previously it was only for if any establishment that provided public utility services decided to go on strike or lockout, they had to provide prior notice. But in the new relation code, for all establishment, that is any industrial establishment that decides for strikes and lockout, they have to provide at least for 14 days prior notice. Also, new concept also is of fixed term employment and rescaling fund has been introduced, which we will discuss soon. So we will discuss the chapter one by one in the next video. So thank you for watching. Thank you.